Welcome to the Winning Podcast, and today's guest is my brother, Cheif Extraordinaire, Mr. Douglass. How you doing, brother?
Man, I'm doing good. I'm happy to be here.
Welcome back.
Yes, yes.
Indeed. So we got a lot to unpack, man. Okay, so I know you just came back from deployment.
Yep.
Okay, can you disclose where you're located?
Yeah. I was in Bahrain.
Okay, how long were you there?
I was there for 6 months.
6 months. What was that like?
Oh man, it was 6 months of just standing there, making sure things were going well. I was out there with the SEAL community, making sure that I was able to get to what they needed to get to by doing with their finances.
Okay, all right. So what position are you currently in? And I know you're about to retire. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. So you're about to retire from the Navy for how many years?
21 and a half years.
Okay. All right. And what's your current rank?
Chief.
Okay. And what is the life of a chief?
A lot of innovation, problem solving, managing personnel, and constantly being on the deck plates.
Okay. And your current position as a chief right now is the finance person for your unit?
Yeah, so I'm the approving official / reviewing official. In regular terms, I'm dealing with auditing people's reimbursements for when they travel.
Okay. So like an administrative role.
Yes.
Okay. Now, what was your original MOS job?
Operations specialist. So basically, I would go on ships and make sure when we were doing certain evolutions that everything went sound.
Okay. All right. So now, let's get into the nitty gritty, man. Okay. So let's reverse engineer your military career. Where are you from?
New York City.
New York?
Yep.
Okay. What part?
Queens.
Queens, son. Whatever, dog. Okay, so you're from Queens, New York.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, when did you decide? What made you decide to join the Navy?
Oh man, it's funny. My mom, she's in the church. She wanted me to constantly come home early, and I'm 18 years old, so I'm feeling myself. My sister's in the Air Force. We go to Alaska. I'm seeing how she's living. 4 beds, 2 cars, and I'm thinking she's living life. I said, where do I sign? And 7 days later, I joined the military.
Okay. So was she nervous when you joined the military?
She was because, you hear so many things about the military, good, bad. And, of course, a parent that's want to make sure that their son is protected. She was more concerned about the bad. But my uncle, who was a big advocate of the military, told her he'd be all right.
So you joined in 2005 or
Yep,
6?
2005.
2005, okay. So now you joined the Navy. What was your first duty station?
Ah, man, in Yokosuka, USS Kitty Hawk.
Okay.
Yes, I was an undesignated airman working as an ABF, dealing with a lot of fuel, JP5, JP10.
Okay, so give me the acronym. What does that mean?
Aviation boasted mate refuel.
Okay, so you use bulk fuel, basically.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So see, we got something in common. I mean, the Navy's a little strange. Y'all got acronyms and all types of other stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so now you're on the USS Kitty Hawk. Okay. Did that take you anywhere? Because during that time, that's when we were doing a lot of deployments, right?
Yeah, I was on a Westpac. My first tour on a Kitty Hawk, honestly, I didn't know if I was going to make it. But like that, again, my mom being my biggest advocate, I never forget, I went on leave and I said, I ain't going back. And they tricked me back to the airport, which I didn't know. Came back, had me a mentor. Name was H&R McCrae, which made CMC in the Navy, and he was one of the guys I looked up to, and it gave me that motivation, dedication to keep on pushing.
So you was about to go UA.
Absolutely, man. I don't know what it was called, Article 29 or whatever it is.
Yeah, tell us I want to know what what was going through your head. Why did you want to get out?
So I joined the military to get out the hood.
Okay.
And on the Kitty Hawk, I went straight back to the hood. I was like, wait a second. I know I didn't do all this training to go back because you don't know what the real life of the military. A lot of people think it's people being motivated and dedicated, but it's not necessarily all that. So you have to learn and you have to make a niche for yourself.
Okay. So you went back to the USS Kitty Hawk. They talked you off the ledge.
Yep.
Right. You went back, and then do you recall your first promotion?
I absolutely haven't recalled my first promotion. I was undesignated E3 for like 3 years. It was when I became an operations specialist. I went from Japan and to Virginia and I took what we call the OS3 exam in the Navy, where you take 2 exams. I took it the first time, and I scored, I think, a 76 or 80 percentile, which was funny because I just got into that job.
Okay.
So my supervisors, they was kind of impressed because they was like, "You've been over here BSing,
Right.
based off my score."
So now you scored that position, and then you got promoted to E4.
E4, yep, we call it OS3.
Okay, OS3. So now you're starting to feel yourself, right? You starting getting paid on the 1st and the 15th. That coin's starting to come in.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Now, where did you? I know you were married. Mm-hmm. Where did you find your queen bee?
I found her in Chicago, Illinois. Actually, not Chicago, Great Lakes, Illinois.
Okay. And how did that work out?
Well, we both was working. We was called recruit division commanders. I guess in the Marines they call it drill sergeant.
Okay.
So we was there helping out new recruits get prepared for the fleet.
Okay, so you all met in like a similar to a Marine Corps boot camp.
Yes.
Okay. What was that? Was that a duty station or was it?
I would call it jail. Let me stop playing around. It was a duty station, but it was a arduous duty station. We was working from sun up to sundown.
Okay, so you're pushing that situation. You guys got married, and how many kids did you guys have together?
We had 2 kids. So Ryan is my oldest. It's his birthday today. So
happy birthday!
Happy birthday, Ryan! And then my youngest, Eugene Jr. Also.
Okay, all right. So now after you're E4 in the Navy. Mm-hmm. All right, pushing recruits.
Oh, actually E5.
E5.
Yeah.
You got promoted to E5.
Yeah.
Then what was your next duty station?
Where I'm at right now, Sunnyside, California. I went from Illinois. I never forget that ride. We went from Illinois to Iowa, Nebraska, then from Nebraska to Utah, Denver, Vegas, here. And it was a 2.5 day ride. So I came from Illinois here, and my tour was on the USS Bunker Hill.
Okay. So now, you're shore duty, right?
At the time, when I was at Great Lakes, it was shore duty. Now I'm going to sea duty on the Bunker Hill.
Okay, so now you're at Bunker Hill. You're out here in sunny Southern California.
Yes.
Right? Now, I have a couple of questions for you. Did you deploy anywhere while you were in the Navy?
Yes, absolutely. So my first deployment was in Japan on the Westpac. That's where I went to Thailand, Japan, Thailand, China, Australia, and I think I'm forgetting some other ones, but those were the biggest ones.
Now, during your Navy career, what was the hardest thing that you faced and how'd you overcome it?
Oh, man, not making rank. I think everybody goes through that. You know, you're told, keep studying, and especially in the Navy, you take 2 exams. I never forget being in Illinois. That place right there is where a lot of people make rank. So we would have to stand and watch everybody make rank, and everybody kept looking at me like, hey, what's going on? And it was just one of them things where you had to go and look in the mirror and figure out what are you doing that's not getting you over the hump.
Now, when you're doing that test, explain that test to me, because we don't do the Marine Corps. We get promoted based off of performance, right? Mm-hmm. So our system is a little bit different.
Yeah.
But what do you believe that the Navy is fair across the board in regard to promotions?
I mean, to be controversial, I don't believe it. I understand that they are trying to use a scale to promote folks, but it goes Navy-wide. So if you're on a ship and I'm on a ship and we're on different ships, right, we really can't say how we're better. So you might be on a ship where there's more personnel that are just as hardworking as you, where I may have less. So to you, it's unfair because you're going against a harder crew. Me, I'm going against a less fortunate crew.
That's interesting. If you were the command sergeant major, the command master chief, right, for one day, how would you change the promotion system?
Well, I know they're trying to look at it right now, trying to do spot promotions. I don't think necessarily it will be spot promotions. I do think that they should have a surplus of promotions available for all ranks. So if you, for instance, are working in a pay grade higher than you're supposed to be, but you have the position lower, right, that should be considered. you should be able to write a memo, give it to PERS, or I don't know what they say in the Marines, and say, hey, we want to advocate for this guy. He's working 2 or 3 pay grades above him. They always talk about that in the eval. So if he's working like that and the eval is shown in the eval, let's make sure that the eval shows what's on his chest.
Okay. Now, we're about to start cooking now. All right, okay. We warming up, guys. We warming up. Now, I do have some other questions for you. Due to the regulations that came from good old Pistol Pete himself, right? Bang, 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 bang. Okay. How was the Navy adjusting to it?
I mean, just like with anybody that's in charge, you have to, adjust. So I think we're doing well. One of the biggest things was shaving, as you can see. I'm clean shaven, right. And you have to follow the rules. Hey, whoever's in charge, especially for us as chiefs in the chief mess, we're told, hey, we work all together. Once somebody makes a decision as a chief mess, we're gonna go with it, whether somebody don't like it or not. So these are a couple of rules that were made, and of course we're gonna abide by it. If you don't like it, you can sign and become a civilian.
Okay, so the Navy is cracking down on the beards as well.
Absolutely, cracking down on the beards.
Okay, now are you getting a lot of pushback from the junior? Who do you believe that is the biggest culprit of that? The senior enlisted or the junior enlisted?
I think it's a combination of both. And what I mean by it is, of course, senior personnel, they're in charge of junior personnel. So you have to think, when you're having visitors come by and you see a guy that has a Rick Ross beard and it's supposed to be a quarter inch, right? Yeah. It's hard to explain that. So if it's just one person, an anomaly. But when you have a lot of people, it makes it bad for people. So when I say junior personnel, I guess we wasn't policing them. And, of course, when it's overall, and they see that, now they have enough data to say, hey, we need to stricken this.
Okay. Now, I have another question for you. Do you believe in your spirit that this adversely affects a different demographic of people? You could keep it clean, but or you can speak freely.
I get you. Keep it political because, again, I'm still in the military. I mean, when you put the facts down, majority of people who have, facial issues are of certain demographics. So yes, it does look bad. However, they are coming with protocols to help those folks, saying, hey, go get reevaluated. If it's that bad, we'll help you out. And if push come to shove, you can get a medical discharge. But it's up to the commands too. So I would say before anybody gets angry, because I know there's a lot of press clippings, right? Yep. Read the instructions first, right, and see what the instructions saying, because if you read it, it will help you to navigate those avenues.
Okay. And then also I saw a regulation that came out in regard to height and weight standards. Okay, now I'm gonna get on y'all Navy folk. Look, that's why he giggling. Look. So what's going on with the food blisters in the Navy, man? Because you look like you're in pretty good shape. What's going on with that?
First and foremost, they say all chiefs E7, E9s, they lose themselves. I don't think I lost myself. Right. So, I mean, when I see people, I'm not gonna lie, we have a couple of people that need to investigate and work on that treadmill. We do have those. Mm-hmm. But I wouldn't just say it's Navy. I would say I have seen some Army folks. I never forget, I was on deployment and I seen a dude and they were saying that he was in Army. He's a National Guard or something like that. It's crazy how you don't want to claim your people, So I would just say, hey, there's standards. Right. It's time to get to the standards. I know right now, as we speak, for all branches, they're trying to say, hey, we're going to do PT twice a year, and it's 3 miles, and I think certain other things that's going to be a part of it. So they're trying to fix these problems. Okay. Now, what branch of service has the best uniform? I'm not going to lie. When I see a guy in anchors and khakis. Get out of here, dog. You are full of crap. I thought I was going to get him, y'all. Okay, man. What they say, a few good men? Cuban getting junior? That's good, man. So okay. So first and foremost, congratulations on a successful career. Mm-hmm. Now we're going to talk about you became a real estate investor what year and why? Oh, man. I became a real estate investor in 2000, I want to say 22. Actually, 2023. No, actually, it was 2022. December. I'll never forget because it was a Christmas gift. Okay. Yes. All right. And what was that experience like? One of the hardest experience I ever had, because I had to learn so many things. When you become a real estate investor, right, you have to understand just different topics, understanding how to explain the topics, understanding how to digest it, and then go in there and take the exam. I never forget I was doing Lyft and Uber. You know, I like to hustle, and what I would do is I would keep an earpiece in my ear, and I would just study. And I would read in the daytime, and then I would listen to it when I'm driving, and then I would just take notes on what I was doing. When I would watch certain TV shows, if they talked about real estate, it would have me go crazy. I'll never forget when I watched a TV show called Ozark.
Okay, yeah,
Ozark, yeah. There's a portion where they're talking about the casino.
Yep.
And there was a portion where they said, hey, we're going to take over here because we're going to use this word called eminent domain.
Yep, eminent domain.
Right? Mm-hmm. And I never forget that was on my exam. So when I seen eminent domain, I didn't understand what it meant. It was saying, hey, if we put this building in this parcel, it's going to stimulate this environment over here. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So we have the right to take over this property to make that happen.
And I remember that too. What's crazy about it is because in Ozark, they were taking that little candy shop that they had, right? Mm-hmm. Or that little shop right there on the pier, on the deck. I remember that's crazy. So now you got your first investment property, mm-hmm. and then now you decided. What made you decide that you wanted to become a realtor? So
when I went through my real estate process, it was pretty cool, but there was a lot of questions that I wanted to ask, but I just didn't understand. Mm-hmm. And I knew it's kind of things where it's like I know I can do better, but I can't prove it. So I never forget, as I was going through my situation, the realtor that I wanted to help me out, I kept asking him, hey, I want to see these homes. And he would tell me, oh, we can't see it. So I would say, okay, well, I heard about these digits, these alphanumerics. What are they called? He like the MLS. Can you give me the MLS? Because I want to put down at least 10 homes because the first 2 homes we did, we loved it, and we got emotionally attached.
Yep.
And we took a L. Mm-hmm. So now, at the time I'm married, the wife was like, I don't care, I'm tired of this. And I'm just like, hey, well, I keep getting these letters in here saying, hey, we're wasting our BAH.
Yep.
Right? Our BAH is going to waste because we're using it in military housing. And the only thing you get in military housing is 0% of it. Mm-hmm. So, like I said, we went through the process, and I started driving places. And I never forget, I found this one place. I told the realtor, and we almost lost a deal over about $2,000 or $3,000. They was able to fix it, mend it over, but I just remember those being like the pillars and me like, hey, if he can do this, why can't I do it? Mm-hmm,
So now you became a real estate professional, mm-hmm. and then I know that you invested in a couple of properties. What was your first deal? Who did you represent, and what was that experience like?
Oh man, let me see. My first deal, Jordan Floyd. It was in Chula Vista. I was super excited because I found this property. The HOA, the family wanted to be somewhere where they didn't have to do too much.
Right.
3-bed, 2-bath, and I just kept asking them, hey, how's your credit? What are you looking for? And we just talking. And my biggest thing was like trying to get them in that home so they can live in it for 2 years because they wanted to move to Georgia. So we was going to try to get them staying there long enough so they can get the equity, sell a home, go to Georgia, buy a property of same size but less because it's a different state.
Now, can you explain equity to me? Like what is equity, and why would you tell young sailors out there, what would you tell a young sailor about equity and how it works?
Gotcha. So the way equity works is it's an asset, and you take the equity and your liability, and it equals an asset. So when we talk about homes, we're talking about appreciation. As a home appreciate, and the more you pay down the home, that difference is what's going to be yours once you sell it.
Okay. And so now you've actually seen that. Why would you tell young sailors to invest in real estate in Southern California?
One of the biggest reasons I would say that is, as I was saying with me being a sailor, when I was investing in military housing, I wasn't getting no tax benefits. That's the big reason. Another reason is it's a bank that allows you to have capital gains, and you won't be hit on it if you keep it under a certain threshold.
Okay. Cheif, capital gains in 30 seconds. Go.
Capital gains is what you made off an investment.
Okay, that was like 10 seconds.
Got you.
Okay. And what are some of the tax benefits that you could leverage in regard to investing in real estate? Can you give us a couple?
Yeah, so we have one called Section Code 121. What that is, you have to live in a home 2 out of the 5 years. If you live in a home 2 out of 5 years and you're single, you can exclude $250K. If you're married, you can exclude $500K. Make it real easy for everybody. You have a home, it was worth $200K. You lived in it 2 years, you sell it. As long as it's under $750, you have no capital gains.
So that means that you're not gonna. There's no tax penalty for getting that revenue that comes in.
The IRS rewards you for having that property for 2 years.
Okay. And then I was also told that mortgage interest is tax deductible up to a certain amount.
Absolutely. So with this new beautiful bill, if I'm not mistaken, they're going to be putting it up to $1 million. If you buy a home for $1 million, that interest, whatever it is, you can put that as an itemized deduction to reduce your liability.
Okay. All right. So now, okay. So one of the biggest reasons that you're sitting here today is that, you have some unique skills, man. I'm going to tell you, my dog worked harder than a Jamaican, man. I get to say that because it's my podcast.
Yeah.
Right. So Cheif, retirement, father, okay, realtor, real estate investor, you're venturing into a new journey, taxes.
Yes.
What is making you get into that?
Well, when I started doing deals, I would see things about taxes, and then I would read things. And everybody always talked about taxes, so I wanted to learn about it. One of the biggest things that made me want to get into taxes, it reminded me of my job in the military. We have to read a lot of publications, we have to read a lot of instructions, and we have to go from one instruction to another instruction. I started looking at taxes, and I'm like, wow, if this is what's so hard, I can connect to this. So I got into my path of becoming an enroll agent. As an enroll agent, I was able to start understanding and taking all these rules, tax codes, and put it on a 1040, otherwise known as a tax return.
Okay. So now, so one of the main things that I notice is that service members don't necessarily know. They go directly to the person at the tax center on base, right? And that person's usually a dirtbag that got fapped out over there. They got sent over there because they can't do their job.
Yeah.
But they're actually learning a critical skill.
Yes.
Give me a nugget. Give me the Cheif's nugget on taxes outside of what you just told me. What's another thing about real estate investing that they can leverage?
So a couple things they can do, but we'll talk about one. We'll talk about Section Code 121 and how it evolves in Section Code 1031. So you buy the home for the first 2 years. You buy the home, you live in it for the first 2 years, right? It has enough equity that you say, hey, I want to do this over. So now you turn that home into a rental, right? And then you say, hey, I want to sell this home because I want to get more bigger properties, right? The IRS allows you to sell that home, defer the taxes, in other words, kick the can and buy a bigger property.
So that basically means that the 1031 exchange is what he's talking about. So essentially that means that, and not even only that, guys, if you have multiple properties, let's just say you have property A, B, and C. Remember this word, like kind. That means that you could sell multiple properties, get the equity position out of those properties, get all of that revenue, defer the taxes, the capital gains taxes, and put all of that revenue into a multifamily or bigger deals as long as it's better, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Did I explain it?
Absolutely.
Should I get into taxes or what?
Hey, man, we need more people.
Indeed. So what do you see? I know you're about to do Skill Bridge, right? Shout out to all of the Cheifs that are out there. We're going to be doing some call to actions for people that are in the Navy that are looking to get into real estate, military spouses also. So if that's you, we do have a Skill Bridge program to where you can transition out of the Navy, Army, Air Force, Marine, or Coast Guard and work in the real estate industry or the mortgage industry for 6 solid months, okay, and then get into this position. If you could go back in time to your first enlistment, what financial and tax advice would you give yourself?
TSP. The reason I bring TSP up, if you, it's a 401k. The great thing about it is every time you put money in there, especially into the traditional account, it's dollar for dollar. It's going to reduce your income. It's called an above the line deduction. So in other words, right now, you can put up to $23K in there. You take that 23K, you look at your gross income, you subtract that from your 23K, and now you reduce your liability 23,000 lesser.
Okay. So basically, instead of getting taxed on $100,000 if you made that in the Navy, they would subtract that $23,000, and then that money would go into the thrift savings plan
Yes.
and grow tax deferred, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. So, all right, that's a good nugget. Okay. Any other cheap nuggets that you want to throw out there?
Absolutely. So let's get back to that rental. They have a thing called a passive a rental allowance loss, which is great. So what that is, for instance, right? You have a rental, you and your wife, y'all don't make over 100K, and you have $25,000 worth of losses from the home. You can take that $25,000 and you can reduce your W-2 again because of that.
That's fantastic. So now let's talk about this real estate situation, because just so I'm clear, I put tenants in the property I can't cover the entire mortgage. There's a tax code. Say it one more time for the people in the back.
Oh, you're talking about special rental allowance loss?
Special rental allowance loss. Explain it one more time.
So basically, we call them non-cash expenses. So a non-cash expense will be mileage. You're driving back and forth to the property, making sure it's good. It's 67 cents on a mile. So you can take that expense 67 times whatever, how many miles you have, and you can subtract it from the gross income you made from renting a property to tenants.
Okay. Man, see, I'm telling y'all, man, we coming. We are coming. Now, in regard to real estate investing, what would you tell a young sailor in their first year of being on their enlistment?
First thing I would say is, hey, try to make rank. Make rank because you're going to have a little bit more money. Normally, if I'm not mistaken, once you get the E5, that's when you start getting BAH. You want to leverage that BAH, and you want to leverage that BAH to help you make more dividends. How do you make more dividends? You can put it in the stock market. However, anything that grows, we talked about earlier, capital gains, if it grows off of that, there's a possibility for capital gains. So I would say, hey, look into getting a home. If you're not comfortable with the mortgage, find a like-minded buddy that you're cool with and do it together. Become tenants in common, joint tenants, or whatever it is. Once you get into the deal, you can talk to your realtor. They can explain those terms to make sure that you put yourself in a good financial position.
And see, this is the part that I feel like where a lot of people are not thinking. Like, this is not your forever home, right? But San Diego has the highest amount of housing allowance that they have. And if you are on the live right now and you guys want a copy of what we talked about today, we're going to be doing a VA loan masterclass next Saturday, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, in person and virtual. Right now, we have 1,500 registrants. It is extremely, extremely rare. We're going to be here at 805 College Boulevard, Suite 103 in Oceanside, California. We have 60 VIP seats that we can fit in the office, and they fill up fast. If you're interested in that, I want you to text the word WIN, WIN, to 760-573-2731 to register. Again, that's WIN to 760-573-2731. And then you can get into either the virtual class or you can get a VIP seat at the VA Loan Masterclass with us. Now, okay, what's the future? What do you foresee your real estate and your tax career going? And also, another question that I want to ask is, what is the difference between an enrolled agent and a CPA? Because I know you're interested in that. You're doing something like that.
Got you. So there's a couple of things, right? Your enrolled agent is going to help you strategize and use the tax law to help you in the best standards. Your CPA, they're going to organize your books. They're going to verify your books are clean, because with the CPA, they can help you to acquire more assets. A CPA also can help you to make sure your business are going well. In the event that you want to merge with another stakeholder, they can go review and audit those the stakeholders' financial statements. So those are like the biggest things. The enroll agent is able to, which CPA is also able to represent you in front of the IRS in the event something ever happens. But the enroll agent knows a little bit more, and they know how to leverage that tax law to your benefit.
Okay. So, and then there's a fundamental difference between tax planning and tax preparing.
Yes.
If you're buying real estate or if you own a business, you need to do a plan. It will take you 100 years to make $1 million, to save $1 million, if you save $10,000 a year, that's $833 a month. So the quickest way to get to investing is utilizing the IRS codes. They're out there to benefit you, okay? And then also leveraging those tools to invest your money so it could grow to scale. Now, where do you foresee yourself in the future again? Where do you see this relationship going?
So as far as just real estate, I love actually helping people. I think it's pretty cool as far as understanding how to help somebody and get them to what they want. That would be one part. But as far as taxes and CPA, I plan to put that together. I want to become like a senior financial analyst. I also want to start my own firm where we're doing tax preparation, payroll taxes, taking care of clients when they have to defend the IRS, whether it's a single member or it's an entity, and giving those, like you said, those guidelines and planning to help them out. I know we were talking earlier, not today, but about SEPs, IRAs, et cetera, et cetera. Those all in that realm of tax preparation and CPA.
Okay. Now, what does CPA stand for?
Certified Public Accounting.
Okay, and then, Certified Public Accountant. Okay, now, another question, a last closing question, okay, is what would you like to say, let the people know about you that they don't know, and besides that you work like crazy and that you leverage the hell out of the Navy to get all of these certifications, right?
Absolutely.
Did you pay for any of your degrees?
No, GI Bill, tuition assistance, and Navy Cool.
Okay.
So I use Navy Cool, which is pretty cool. That's a bar right there. But it's a website where it allows you to go look at your skill set and you can go take certifications. So I understand when we say go to college because you want to get a degree to get prepared. But what I started doing was I started going online, looking at the things they wanted. And then I said, okay, well, I need to have this Excel skill. I'm going to get certified in Excel. I need Power BI. I'm going to get Excel in this. I need to learn about Microsoft from Outlook to Copilot, just all these different type of apps and make myself marketable amongst other people. And on top of that, to be able to help other people out because you have a lot of people that don't know how to use these things. So I leverage to help them out.
And I like that because, see, this is one of the biggest things. If you're trying to make money, two things that you need to know. Y'all ready? Number one is you have to be able to help people. You can't make any money if you're not solving a problem. And then the second thing is make yourself marketable to where people will pay you for your value.
Yes.
So if you're in the military, listen, okay? Anthony Glenn II is getting a doctorate degree right now from USC, and the military is paying for every red cent. For 2 classes, $17,000 at University of Southern California. And guess what? The military paid for it. I got my undergrad degrees, my real estate broker's license. I got my, basically the military paid for all of that stuff, and I didn't have any debt. So for those of you that are in the Navy, Army, Air Force, Marine, Coast Guard, Space Force, take advantage of the stuff while you're in the military and go to medical, okay? Go to medical and document all of your stuff so when you get out, you can get the golden wheelchair like me, all right? So what is the best way to reach you?
Well, on my Instagram, if I'm not mistaken.
Tastycakes.com, y'all.
Yeah,
no, I'm joking.
My socials, Eugene Douglass on Instagram and Eugene Douglass on Facebook. Those would be the best way to reach me. Can I get my phone out?
Yeah, you can if you want to.
Okay, 718-674-5213. Want to contact me, you want to talk, definitely that's where you can hit me up at.
Mike Jones? No, I'm joking. But I want to say, I appreciate you seeing the value of what we're doing for veterans here. We're here to definitely support you in your journey with building out your Navy team. Okay, Navy, we're coming to a theater near you. We're looking for a few good sailors that are looking to get into real estate, headed by our Navy bubbles over here. We have Sierra. She's U.S. Navy.
Yep.
We got Eugene Douglass that's here. Who else do we have that's Navy here? I think that's it. I think they're all. Annette Robinson. Shout out to Annette. I almost got in trouble, boy. I was about to get in trouble. So we got 3 Navy folks in our office, and we're looking for some other sailors that are looking to grow out their business. And then again, to reach us, 760-573-2731. Text the word win. And then you guys can get out here and rock out with us. Stay tuned. We got some special stuff. We're going to be doing some YouTubes on taxes. We're going to be talking about some tax codes. You do not want to miss this. So hit that notification bell. And the best way to reach me is TonyGlenn II, TonyGlennii.com. That's the best way to reach me, to follow us across all social media platforms. And then on Friday, this Friday, we're going to be doing a win in real estate call to action. And basically like a, what do you call it? What do you call that room where you have, what do we call it? No, win in real estate. I can't even think of the name of it right now. It's like when you have a meeting for everybody. We put it on there. Not a informational, right? Okay. So you can get in there and you can find out how we're giving referrals out and some of the upcoming events. So thank you so much for tuning in, and we look forward to seeing you on the next podcast. We're out.